The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
With all the hell that's been going on this week about the election, I've been thinking about updating my wardrobe. So I've been perusing, and I came across Cavity Colors is putting out some awesome T-shirts of Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I'm thinking of jumping in and grabbing some gear. They look awesome too, I might add. And so I might just jump in on that, pick up a few shirts. What the hell? Why not? Brighten up my holiday for fuck's sake, right? And if you guys want to do it too, hey, just Google up Cavity Colors or go to cavitycolors.com. But that's it. Now, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 432 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau, also at Casa de Zero, and the Lair of the Gods. We are once again broadcasting in a pandemic from 4 locations. I feel like I should stop saying that because that's kind of the norm now. Anything going on this week?
Yeah, you sound like a broken record player, man.
Have you heard the show? I say that pretty much the same thing every week, a few different times, an episode.
Yeah.
And so do you, dumb shit.
Oh, fuck off. Dumb shit.
Calling him dumb shit?
What did I say? I'm talking about the shirts from Cavity Colors, and you're calling it dumb shit?
No.
I'm going to tell them you said that.
Actually, I rock a couple Cavity Color shirts.
He's calling you a dumb shit.
Yeah.
Because you repeat the same thing every week.
What did I say? What? Like what?
Like just...
Mike Myers. I love Halloween 3.
Oh, he's going to pull it out. He's going to whip it out.
Fucking forget it. Don't you?
Oh, there
right there.
Whipping it out.
I love
Silver Shamrock, baby. God damn it.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Raven Chow, you're on time.
Yeah. Who saw that come?
I think Aries was in cahoots with you this week.
Oh, it's my brother.
I was having the same technical issues this week as I did last week. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I think what works, Aries, is you turn it off, turn it on.
That seems to be the solution. Next is the hammer.
I would not want to be a piece of technology that frustrates you. I'll tell you that much.
I have broken two keyboards at work. Getting so frustrated, just slamming down both fists on the keyboards and keys going flying everywhere.
Like a fucking
I'm just waiting for the
monkey.
I'm waiting for the time when he just like picks up the keyboard and just starts smashing it on the table.
Oh no,
That's what I wanna
two fists coming down. I've broken 2 like that. I keep a spare one in my office now.
I'm picturing like a Bane backbreaker. You take it and you like bang.
Oh, like Bane, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? I've actually been rewatching Key and Peele, and do you guys know this? I don't know if you guys have seen much of it, but have you guys ever seen The Substitute Teacher?
Oh my Aaron.
Aaron. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
When he gets pissed, he takes like the clipboard and fucking smashes it over his knee. Is there an Aaron here?
We have a guy at work, a security like officer for like IT, and like I was like, I have to hold back. His name is Aaron, but not call him Aaron
Or D Nice.
Hey.
Oh, the nice
Jaqueline. I don't know why, but that is like my fucking favorite like one of my favorite skits. And then I was watching season 3, and he comes back and makes a reappearance in season 3, and I was like just fucking marking out.
Oh, really? See, for me, it's the teacher one. It's the Power Ranger one.
Oh yeah. He's the a Black Lion or whatever.
Black Lion, like racist. Come on, yeah, so good. And the inner city, like Hogwarts one. If you saw
Oh
that.
yeah. I've seen one of those. Yeah.
Oh, fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I love the college Pro Bowl game.
Oh my God.
The
Chris-
lineups. Oh my God.
Xmas, Jackson, Flax, and Waxon.
I even like the Outcast episode when it was Andre and it was a big boy in the coffee shop.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet, or at least not in this watch.
Oh, stay tuned.
So yeah, nothing really going on this week, right? No big news. Nothing to talk about.
Nothing we're holding our breath for. There's no chance of corruption. There's nothing really on.
No chance. Yeah.
It's a glorious age of corruption, which should be.
Yes.
It'll all-
This is a great moment in our political history.
It's great.
I hope you're being sarcastic.
What do you think, dude?
No, I know. So, well, aside from that, the other thing I wanted to talk about was our Halloween party. How fucking fun was that?
That was fun.
That was
one of the best. That was one of the best. I think that was one of the best shows we've ever had. Technical glitches aside, that was one of the best shows we've ever had.
And to be fair, like the technical glitches later on, I found out that it was actually the videos that I was trying to play. Not gonna throw him under the bus, but Mars sent me the video. Actually, I guess I am throwing him under the bus. So the video he sent me of the comic reveal was in 2160p. So it was twice 1080p, and my system was chugging trying to play that. So I think that was the audio issue. So yeah, so it hey, no big deal. He sent it to me literally right before we started the show. But aside from that, so it wasn't technically a technical glitch. It was an error with the video. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, I thought it went super well and was a lot of fun. It was different. We played some short films, played some music, had a ton of people hanging out. So yeah, I had a blast, and I hope you folks who were able to tune in did as well, because it was a lot of fun.
It was a macabre menagerie of mayhem, I think, is the best way to describe it.
Oh, now you come up with a title.
That's why I'm late. That's why
He was sitting on the toilet drinking his Coors Banquet from the from the what do you call them, the tub beers or whatever?
No,
Bathtub beers.
yeah, it's a half bath, but no, I stack them up in a
Half bath.
and I have the curtain there. I can hide them behind.
Who are you hiding him from?
I don't know. You still can't, even if you live alone.
I don't know.
Hide things sometimes. You don't know who's coming over. You can't have it always out. Plausible deniability.
We're not talking about your dick here. It's beer. You can have beer out. You're of age.
That's true. I'm double the age. But no, you got to keep something secret. But no, I think what we're trying to say is that it was an amazing hangout. And then let's not forget the after party, man. The blackout tapes was flowing. A small cover charge, but we were talking and schlocking till 2 a.m. We had the 15-minute break after the Halloween extra special Halloween special. Just enough time for Monster Zero to get in his jammy jams and go to bed. Apparently.
Hey, I had every intention of joining in, even for like 10, 15 minutes. But I was laying down on my bed, and next thing I know, I was out.
It was
I was
50
exhausted.
minutes. You were on that very chair that you're squatting on right now. And you knew we were gonna do a thing. Aries, I understand. It's Aries, but I mean,
What does that mean?
you though, and I love you.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. What does that mean?
I love you so much, but people would have marked out for you. But Aries, you probably want your own, show on the Discord, like whittling with Aries.
Just quietly drinking whiskey.
Whittling with Aries.
Quietly drinking whiskey with Aries.
I have that show every Tuesday night. Just quietly drinking whiskey. Little does anyone know, I go on Discord, just quietly drink.
He's so quiet he doesn't even log in.
Computer tech issues and stuff with Aries.
Aries, my computer won't turn on. Have you tried smashing it with a hammer?
So we have Creepy Girls hanging out. She says, "Hey guys, I'm sad I missed blackout tapes." Sad face.
Hey, kiddo.
You say kiddo?
Kiddo.
Oh wow, it's different from what you normally say. She's a kid?
Girl, Marion was asking for you.
Yeah, and Marion, speak of the devil, she's also in the chat hanging out.
Hey.
So we got it was a lot of fun though, and I came for the after party. I was actually going to come back, and then I actually hadn't seen T-Dog all day, and so we ended up just hanging out. So I did get a chance to hang out for a little while though with Raven Chat on the blackout tapes, and I had fun. People were hanging out. We had our boy K Double, who we haven't seen in a while, popped in, paid the cover charge.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, it was me, Wolfie, Maz, K Double. I might forget some people. Tim was there from Melbourne.
Tim from Melbourne, yep.
First time Mike was there.
Yep.
Riku was in the house.
Yep. EF.
EF Contentment. Thank you very much. Oh my God. And it was getting it was getting dangerously close where I thought I was really gonna black out because fucking like 2 in the morning.
You make it sound like it's a rare occurrence.
Yeah, but no, it was a thing, and it was for real. Marion was there too in a little bit.
Yep.
But we were just all raw, all kinds of different topics.
Speaking of getting all raw, Mars was telling me that you had to take a break from the blackout tapes. You and Marion disappeared, and he had to basically host it.
I don't remember that.
Apparently, he did black out.
No.
Oh,
you disappeared for a little bit. I guess you came back.
Apparently, we need Marion's take on this.
I don't remember that
Marion,
at all.
what happened?
I don't know if we want to know.
I want to know.
I want to know.
I might not have been there, but I want to know.
I don't.
Marion, give us the 411 on this shit, huh?
Jesus.
Weird. But yeah, we went the distance. We were going for speed. Man. It was nice.
Oh, she said technical difficulties. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. What she said.
Yeah.
It's just fucking spot. No, I think I got locked out. I got locked out of fucking Discord. I had to subscribe. I had to become a Patreon to get back in.
Oh shit! We got our boy D fucking Rook hanging out.
Stop it.
hey.
D Rook says, "Happy belated Halloween, gents."
Oh man,
Fucking love that dude.
I'm gonna kiss that dude on a noun. I'll tell you that. Man.
You're gonna what?
Kiss him on a noun.
Kiss him on a noun.
Yeah, pick one.
Just
What does
pick.
that mean?
Toe. There,
Yeah.
I picked one. You gotta kiss his toe now.
I didn't say you could pick Aries. I'm just saying.
Oh shit. So yeah, it was a blast though. So we appreciate everyone coming out, and also for everyone who sent us some stuff to play. We played the short films of Jarrett Blinkhorn. We played The Carving and Signal to Noise, featuring 3 of us, myself, Raven Shadow, and Monster Zero. And we also played a short film from Skip Shea. We played some music from Teal, from No Man, and we also played a track from Skeletron, which went over pretty big. That got a big pop in the back.
once again, watch the live show. I mean, that cartoon from
Skeletron, like your boy Joey Tron.
Yeah. Dr. Joey Skeletron. He's branching out. I mean, all the contributors were fucking amazing. For that animation.
Oh yeah.
By a fucking 15-year-old girl, by the way. Once again, not dismissive, but very impressive. I'm saying, as we discussed, we are so much older and not as talented than
It's true.
many of the folks that contributed.
That's very true. And Evil Corny says, did he say mound or noun? I think we did establish noun, but it was a little questionable at first. D-Rook says, I'm officially taking all the nouns out of my name. Shit.
Move.
And he says, I'm going back to the gym to get rid of any COVID-related mounds, too. So, but yeah, no, it was a great time, and appreciate everyone who came for the blackout tapes as well, the after party. I think if we do something like that again, I think we should probably do another. That was fun to do, like an after party.
Oh, it was so great! It was so much fun. Yeah, I love it. A little break, took the dog out, come back in.
That break was integral to you. You keep mentioning it.
Yeah,
you mentioned that 15-minute break like 3 times now.
I'm fucking union, okay?
saved his life apparently.
See my blood.
So even like Rimshaw, this isn't a job. You know you don't like work 4 hours and get a 15-minute break.
I think you do.
Yeah, but this isn't a job.
It's not.
Are you getting union wages for this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually salary, so I
Are you
don't.
getting any wages?
Sucks.
Oh shit.
Except for the dues.
Did you reduce?
Pay your union didgeridoos. It's not good.
So
I was
Oh my god.
what?
over all week.
What about the week? What?
Yeah, I was hungover.
Speak up.
I am, man. But there's like I was hungover because after the blackout tapes, Mary and I went deep, so we were rocking and rolling until 4 a.m. Like,
We don't need to hear about the after party of that. We don't. You know?
I don't even know.
Dad, we don't want to know. We don't want to know.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it that way.
Yeah, please.
Lots of Zero kind of wants to know.
No, he doesn't.
That's the chat for off air for between the two of you.
Actually, I kind of do.
Off air between the two of you.
You dirty motherfucker. I kind of do. Unbelievable.
Not that unbelievable.
Evil Corny says Raven Shadow needs to get hooked on phonics when he's taking those breaks.
Listen, I'm hooked on a lot of things already, Corny. I don't know.
You're cooking on a lot of things. What?
I'm hooked on a lot of things.
Oh, I thought you were cooked.
Well, no.
What are we even?
Cooked on phonics.
Yeah.
He's cooked on a lot of things.
What are we even doing?
Cooked and he's cooked on all of that.
Can we start the show over again? Do a
Yeah.
redo?
Yeah.
Get a mulligan on this one?
We're gonna get a recount. Aries are gonna sue us to restart the show.
It's filed many, many affidavits.
What is an affidavit?
I don't know.
Is that the full name of Affidavit Hasselhoff?
Affidavit Keith? Yeah.
Affidavit Keith.
Well, affidavit Keith is not as good as a full David Keith.
Oh,
True.
I didn't even realize. Let me show D Rook. I'm representing.
Yeah, I saw that you
Representing the Rough House.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Look at that fist.
Also, speaking of which, I saw that Steve Van Samson released a book on Rough House Publishing.
Steven Van Samson's like Stephen fucking King. This dude keeps putting them out all the fucking time.
Yeah, right.
He's as prolific?
He is, yeah.
Are you prolific, Raven Shadow?
See, I kind of know what that word means.
But so that means you kind of don't either.
No, it's kind of like posi-traction. Like I understand what posi-traction means.
You know that from my cousin
do,
Vinny.
but then again, you kind of don't. No, it's you kind of do, but you kind of don't. It's almost penultimate, right?
It's kind of like the penultimate thing. Like I understand it, in the context of the sentence, but I don't know if I could if I could really break it down. It's like binary. I understand. I understand what that means, but I don't fully know in a sentence. I don't know, but I know enough to understand.
Do you?
Well, you might think.
Yeah.
You might think you know what that means, but we have no idea what you mean. Well,
Complicated. This is fun though.
So MZ, you finished up the 31 days of the Monster Zero 31-day horror Halloween film challenge.
oh boy, did I!
Yeah. So the last two flicks that we hadn't talked about yet, we'll quickly run down. Tales from the Crypt from 1972. If I know our boy JB, he's going to pop in the chat room any minute now.
Yeah. Right?
So I know you talked about that, MZ, but quick hit, Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt contains my all-time favorite short in any anthology. Blind Alleys, the last short. It's absolutely brilliant, and the other four are great as well. I mean, you got Joan Collins, you got Joan Collins, you got Peter Cushing, you got Sir Ralph Richardson, and you got Patrick McNee. And it's just a fantastic, very, very British anthology, and it's fantastic. So good, so atmospheric, and so creepy. These are shorts that are taken straight out of the comics, and they do it with just a in your face approach that I mean even Tales from the Crypt 1990 couldn't even copy, and they're good, they're great, but this one from 72 is just phenomenal. I strongly recommend watching it. I really do. You're missing out if you don't watch it.
Someone's missing out because they're not watching it right now. All right, so Tales from the Crypt, and then finally, to wrap up the 31 days, you did Hell House LLC.
Yeah, this is a found footage film, and basically it just surrounds these 5 20-somethings who take an abandoned hotel and turn it into a haunted attraction. Things start getting a little creepy, a little bit weird as the days approach to them on their opening day, until it finally open up and just all hell breaks loose. It's awesome. It's really good. And there's 2 sequels that come after that. Strongly recommend all of them. They're very good. Very good.
Are the sequels on par?
The second one is on par. The third one, little bit underneath, but still a worthy watch.
Yeah, I have yet to see any of them, but I'm curious. I know you obviously speak highly of them, and I've heard some other folks speak highly of them.
Yeah, they're really good. They are. I mean, because like Wolf, you and I, we worked in the haunted attraction, so
Yep.
we've done our time there, and so we can speak on it. And unfortunately, it doesn't get as spooky as for it never got as spooky for us as it did for them in the movie. That would be nice if we're a little
probably a good thing.
strange. Oh, I don't know. I think a little strange shenanigans would have been fun. Too much chaos going on behind the scenes, though. Really, too many people, too much chaos behind the scenes. But in Hell House LLC, it's very well done, and they intersperse the found footage with new interviews with investigators, police, reporters, things like that. So it's got a good balance, and worth a watch. Must be seen.
Creepy Girl just sent an Instagram post and a photo of her watching the show, and says, "Watching my favorite podcast, Trick or Treat Radio, after a long day of unpacking. So much still to do." That's super sweet. Thank you, Creepy Girl.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So awesome. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun, MZ. We had some good participation. Obviously, it came together a little quick towards the end of September there, but despite that, we still had some good participation. And I want to make sure people are aware to qualify to be entered into the contest. We're not trying to screw anybody, but I can't go through social media and pick out all the films that everyone watch. I just don't have the ability to go through Discord and go through Facebook and wherever else. So if you could just make a list of all the films that you've seen for the 31 days and just send me the list to podcast@trickortreatradio.com and just list. You can just type them out. You can take the artwork that I created for it and kind of put a check mark next to them or circle the ones you watch or whatever. Any way to notate them, whatever's easiest for you. You don't have to go crazy. Just make sure that you let us know which ones you've watched. And we are going to record our next Patreon episode this weekend. So we need to have the winner, pick the winner on that episode. So we're going to pick the winner on the Patreon episode, but we'll also announce it on social media because it wasn't a Patreon-only thing, but it started with last month's Patreon, and I just thought it would be a nice little bookend to finish it with the Patreon, and we'll talk a little bit more detail about it, and we'll pick the winner, and then we'll go ahead and also post on social media. So if you're not a Patreon supporter and you took part, obviously you can check out the social media. We'll post it on Facebook, and also we'll announce it here next week. But please, if you watched any of the films from our 31 days from the Monster Zero Halloween Film Challenge, make sure you send an email to podcast@trickortreatradio.com and either list the films that you watched or use the artwork and just notate, make a note, whether it's a check mark or a circle or whatever, any way to notate and just let me know which ones, and then send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com, and we'll go ahead, have everyone entered in, and then we'll pick a winner this weekend. So just make sure you get it to me by, we hadn't talked about when we're going to record for between all of us, but I'm assuming Sunday is probably the best time. So just get it to me ASAP, but preferably, before, maybe on Saturday just to be safe, and then at the latest Sunday morning. So Creepy Girl says, "Dang, I work Saturday and Sunday. I miss everything." Well, Creepy Girl, we don't actually stream these shows. The Patreon shows, we record them, and then we put them out on the Patreon feed. So you'll be able to catch it you'll catch it first. It's only available for our Patreon supporters, so you will catch it first. So you don't have to worry. Just check Patreon, and there is a URL that you can get for our Patreon feed for our Patreon supporters, and then you can plug it into a podcast player or something, and it'll automatically update as soon as there's a new episode. So, all right. So I just wanted to make sure we get that out of the way, finish up the 31 days. Overall, MZ, we'll talk a little bit more about it on Patreon. But what was your overall impression? Just kind of quick thoughts.
Well, considering that it was kind of thrown together roughly in about a week or so, just figuring what we're going to do, the format, how we're going to present it, things like that. I think it came off rather well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough. But next year, I'm already making plans for next year, and we're going to try a different format next year.
Okay.
There's something I want to try next year, and so we're gonna have fun with this one. We're gonna make it a little bit interesting, a little challenging. Okay.
Interesting.
And challenging.
Challenging.
And interesting.
All right.
Yes.
That sounds
And
cool.
so it should be a lot of fun. And so we'll see what happens come around September of next year.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I can't wait to hear what you got in mind. And obviously next year, who knows? I mean, hopefully we're out of the pandemic and everyone can go actually have fun on Halloween. But who knows? Maybe we'll do another live party next year. It seemed to go off pretty well. But once again, I don't know what the world's going to be like in a year. So who fucking knows, right? For all we know, it's going to be like in the fucking world in Peninsula.
Yeah.
All right, and one other thing I want to announce, I might as well just announce it now because we typically announce the format for the next week's show after we have done the film discussion. But I want to hype this one up because I'm looking forward to it because we're doing another Patreon show next week, and we're watching 2 films. Our Patreon supporter picked 2 films for us to watch. So Raven Shadow, I'm letting you know now, got to get the jump on this one.
I got a rough week coming up too, man. But okay, I'm excited though.
So the 2 films. Actually, first of all, let me talk about who is going to be our guest co-host. So because of the Patreon, because he is a Terminator. So if you guys are in the Terminator tier, you get to come on and be a co-host of Trick or Treat Radio, and you get to book the show. You choose whether you want to do 1 film and a topic of discussion or you want to do 2 films. It's completely up to you. And in this case, our Patreon supporter chose to do 2 films. So our guest next week, coming off the party, he was hanging out with us. He was in the Blackout tapes. Next week, we'll be joined by EF Contentment on the show as a co-host. And he picked some interesting ones for us. He picked one that is completely not a Trick or Treat Radio film whatsoever. And that is the film The Phantom Thread. Are you guys familiar? Anyone seen it?
Nope.
Okay, so The Phantom Thread was actually up for an Oscar in 2017, I believe, 2017. It's a drama romance directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, who you guys are familiar with, right? He did Boogie Nights.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Punch Drunk Love, There Will Be Blood. He's And the name of the film is Phantom Thread, starring Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel All Day Lewis?
All day.
Daniel back in the day Lewis?
Aries just put his head back. I don't know if that's because of the film or if he's bored. I don't know.
No, because of Raven Shadow's comments.
Yeah.
So Phantom Thread is one of the films. The other film he picked, I think MZ might be the only one that knows this, but it's the name of the film. And actually, let me get the year. I forget the year. It is, I think it's 84. Is that right? 1984. Yes. And it goes by a few names, and it's called Death Wish Club, Greta, or The Dark Side to Love. MZ, you familiar?
Nope.
Really? If I
Greta, Dark Side of Love, and what's the third title?
Death Wish Club.
Death Wish Club.
You've seen
No.
you've seen a little film called Night Train to Terror, my friend, right?
Yes.
Well, this is one of the films that they cannibalized for it
Oh, okay. All right.
because it actually comes on the. Do you have the Blu-ray of Night Train to Terror?
I think I do. I don't know. No, I don't.
Surprised you don't know.
No, I don't.
Well, anyways, it's apparently it's the film is included on that, but it is also on Tubi, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, so Death Wish Club is one of the films that we'll be doing next week, or actually the segment is called "The Case of Greta Connors." That's the name of the segment from Night Train to Terror. So they basically took a film, an entire like full-length film, chopped it down into a short, and then included it on Night Train to Terror.
Mm.
Evil Corny says, "Phantom Thread." Gives me an excuse to rewatch this film.
Shit, Corny knows it.
It was a fucking Oscar fucking nominated film.
My uncle Oscar, the Moocher.
Jesus. It won one Oscar. What did it win? Best Achievement in Costume Design. But it was also nominated for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role, Daniel Day-Lewis. Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role, Leslie Manville. Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Pictures, Johnny Greenwood. Best Achievement in Directing, Paul Thomas Anderson. And also Best Motion Picture of the Year.
All right, so this must be a period film if it won an award in costume. This must be a period film.
Most likely. That's my guess.
The 90s, they're really impressed by the flannel.
Oh, yeah, set in 1950s London.
Okay.
So,
The capris.
what's that?
The capris are really nice.
Shut up.
Jesus. So it should be an interesting show. Oh man, yeah, no, it'll be interesting. Raven Shadow, put your fucking monocle on, man. All right.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a rough week. I may have some stories to tell come Thursday.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Can you tease it, or what is there to?
I don't know. Yeah. I may have a funny stories plural. A funny stories plural. Multiple stories come Thursday. So I gotta.
Jesus Christ.
I gotta do a couple
How
of
can
things.
you know ahead of time that you may or may not have some funny stories? Like I don't get that.
Because I have an appointment on Wednesday. So we'll see what happens.
With who?
Medical professionals.
Proctologist.
All right, so you go to the doctor and you think you're going to come back with funny stories?
Not really funny, haha. It could be like, but we'll see.
You're going to get your oil checked?
Check my dipstick.
Someone on YouTube named Popcorn Truffle Shuffle asked if this is the Halloween episode. And Popcorn Truffle Shuffle, no, it is not. This is the episode after the Halloween episode. If you do want to find the Halloween episode, it is on our YouTube. It's on our website, trickortreatradio.com. And it is called the Extra Special Halloween Special from 2020. So if you want to go check that out, I'd highly recommend it. But, hey, hang out and watch this show. And then go back and watch that tomorrow or later tonight or some other time. Right, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, anytime.
Anytime.
Daytime, nighttime. You know what I mean? What you gotta do?
Oh,
Country
Evil Corny
time.
is wondering if you're pregnant, Raven Shadow.
Oh.
Shit.
Marion says it's not mine. Oh, it'd be like that. It would be like the Mortuary Collection.
That's I don't want that at all.
This brajol swells up like a fucking inflatable mask.
Normally that could be appealing, but not in that case. That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, that was real painful.
All right, so trying to think if there's anything else. I think we could probably start to wind things down, and I'm excited to talk about this movie. So I don't think I even mentioned yet, but tonight we're talking about the film Peninsula, otherwise known as Train to Busan presents Peninsula. It is the sequel to the very wildly successful and probably show favorite Train to Busan, which came out, I believe, in 2016. And I know we all really enjoyed it, and it ended up being one of our favorite films of the year. So, been pretty excited, been pretty highly anticipating this one. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to talking with you guys about it. Has anyone seen season 2 of The Mandalorian yet?
The whole season?
No, just the first episode.
I thought you had an inside scoop, Johnny. But no, you mean episode 1 dropped last week.
Episode 1. Did you see it?
And that's it.
All right.
And he fell asleep.
At the end, I had fucking 5 minutes to go. Marion was pissed. But no, it was fucking dope, right? It was a fucking super dope episode.
So you did see it?
I did, and I can't wait to check out this week's latest Forced and Sensitive podcast episode. That's hosted by Johnny Wolfenstein, Rocky, Maz, and all
the other one,
Alberto.
Yeah.
Alberto.
I think Alberto was mad at us last night because we went 2.5 hours. It's getting turned into this fucking show. We talked about the fucking episode of The Mandalorian for 2.5 hours.
It was a fucking 54-minute episode too, by the way.
I know. We talked about it for at least more than twice as long. That's just what we do, I guess.
But there was so much going on.
There was a lot of a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of characters that showed up, and not even the big ones, but some other kind of minor ones, like R5D4 Raven Shadow. He's the one that had the map of Tatooine.
Yeah. It was cool.
He was cool. I've never heard a droid described as cool.
Who gives a simply fucking Oliphant, sir? That's all I know is I heard the fucking voice. I'm like, that's the fucking Oliphant.
You love the Oliphant, don't you?
I love the Oliphant. It's like here's it goes. It goes like it's like Charlie Hunnam, the Oliphant, and like D-Rook, and that's pretty much my.
D-Rook.
Brown nosing D-Rook over here.
Oh, Jesus.
I wanted to get involved again. We missed him. But no, I love the Oliphant, man.
The Oliphant man? The Oliphant man, Ken? By the way, did you happen to notice? I mean, you wouldn't know just by looking at it, but did you know who played the bartender at the cantina, the Weequay character?
Only because of the credits.
Okay, so yeah, he was another Deadwood guy.
Was it B. Arthur?
Yes.
Nice.
I thought it was Leguizamo.
No. He was Gor Koresh in the beginning. The one-eyed dude.
I don't like you either.
Yeah, so he played Gor Koresh, and I've never seen Deadwood, so I don't know. Let me find the dude's name. Because the guy who played the bartender in Mos Pelgo was also in Deadwood.
Okay. Yeah, I love. Fucking Deadwood is the fucking best TV western ever of all fucking time.
All right, let's see. What's his name? W. Earl Brown is the actor's name. And on Deadwood, he played Dan Doherty.
Oh, really?
Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, he's dope.
And he also played Hugo Root on Preacher. On the Preacher TV show. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a cop.
Sheriff Root than we saw in the comic books, by the way.
Yeah.
At least he didn't say Martian blankety blank blank, which is probably for the best.
So I didn't want to talk
still,
Sorry, go ahead.
Of course you did. You mentioned it, so of course you want to talk about it.
No, I didn't finish. I was going to say I didn't want to talk too much about it. I talked about it for 2.5 fucking hours. So if people want to hear us break down all the fucking Easter eggs and all that stuff, they can go check out Force Insensitive. It was the season 2 premiere of Force Insensitive. Over there, we do seasons, Raven Shadow.
Fuck.
What do you think about that?
I'm confused.
Well, it's episode 1, so you don't have to get all that confused. But it's season 2, episode 1.
The fucking baseball show with the Joey Tron.
Oh shit, Marion! I didn't even know this. Marion says he was Mary's special brother and something about Mary too.
Oh yeah. I didn't know that. I forgot that.
Okay.
Warren.
I was wondering where I was trying to remember where I heard that name before.
I've seen his baseball.
Yeah. Have you seen my? Have you seen his wiener though?
Not yet. Still waiting. So that's cool. I didn't know that. So so I'm looking forward to Mandalorian episode 2, season 2 is dropping in about 5 hours. So
let's wrap the show up.
Yeah, let's hurry up now. So we gotta go until 3 a.m. so I can just stop the show and then watch. Marion also pipes in and says Deadwood is so good, and Corny says, Wolfie, you need to watch Deadwood. All right.
So apparently just you, Wolfie. The rest of us can go fuck off.
Yeah.
Wait, have you seen Deadwood? Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's.
A tumbleweed rose by.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it's a nice Western reference. Okay, so let's wrap this up. So once again, I talked a little bit about the Patreon, and I just want to call out we hit one of our Patreon goals during the Halloween show. So we've achieved our first goal. So I want to give a huge thank you to everyone who is a supporter, because we have a couple more goals that we want to try to hit. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the time to name everyone right now, because that's something we don't do often enough. But I think this is in order of join date. So let me go back and see. Yeah, okay. So I'll go from the first person to join all the way up to the most recent. So we have Will. I'm not going to say everyone's like first and last name. Marion, Evil Corny, our boy El Goro, Dangerous Donnie. We got Vessa. We got Jesse G. We got EF Contentment. We got First Time Mike. We got Reverend Scott. We got Tim from Melbourne, Tim Chuma. We got Matchel of Omaha. We got Corlitos. We got our boy, we'll call him, since Jonathan is a name that could be confused with a lot of other Jonathans, we'll call him Mr. Roth. We got Riku. We got Nathan Cotton, Coy, Vance, Duke. We got Creepy Girl. We got Gene Spalding and his balding head. And we got K Double.
Nice.
All fucking awesome supporters. We cannot thank you guys enough. We hit a big goal for us. It was our first major goal that we wanted to hit. There are a couple others we'd like to hit. So let's not slow down. Let's keep let's step on the Raven Shadow. Step on the gas. Do you know how to drive a stick shift? I guess no. Do you know how to drive stick shift? Did we lose Raven Shadow? MZ, do you know how to drive a stick shift? Oh, I lost them. That's what it was. There was a connection issue. So you can still see their beautiful faces, but I lost their voice. What is that again? This is too funny. I'm gonna. I was gonna try to fix it, but I don't know if I want to now. Oh man, the glory of Skype. Are you guys back yet? Can you hear me? All right. Well, I'm gonna try to switch devices here because this happened recently. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch devices on these guys. So please bear with me as I do this. It's hard for me to keep talking. All right.
There.
All right.
He's
There we
moving.
go.
We're back.
There we go.
All right. I don't know what happened. It happened before on the iPad.
Okay. Well,
Okay. Cool. So you guys are here. We're back.
We're back now?
Yes, you're back.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So I don't know what I was saying. I was trying to kill time and fix stuff. But Patreon supporters, you guys are fucking awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. And Aries is taking a swig for our Patreon supporters. So we appreciate all you guys and continue to spread the virus, as Raven Shadow likes to say, right?
Well, I used to like saying that, and now I get in trouble for saying that.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Well, you
it
don't
was
want to
kinda
do
like
that.
it was kind of like making anthrax jokes on September 12th. No one really got the gimmick, but not the band. But it was a long time ago. In terms of how things got worse, but yeah, no. Spread the love.
Spread the message. How about that?
That could be out of context too. It's weird. Messages are bad nowadays.
What
How
kind
was the
of,
message bad?
yeah, what kind of message? I guess it could
Yeah,
be bad. I mean, it's
that's
kind of neutral, right? It could be bad, it could be good. Could be sad,
could
it could be
be-
happy.
Could be glad.
What's the
could
best message
be-
you've ever got, Raven Shadow?
It's
not
Your
cancer.
test is negative.
It's benign.
If you got to think about it, it can't be that good.
Did your doctor text you that or send it through Facebook? It's not benign. It's benign.
I will say the recent physical was like, yeah, your liver and lungs look good. And I'm like, really?
Are you looking at mine?
Yeah.
Well,
They're like, wait, you're pregnant because you probably gave someone else's urine, right?
I said, urine. It's a weird thing.
Your liver and lungs look great, but I hate to tell you, Mr. Raven Shadow, you're pregnant.
It's also a Bichon phrase. Ollie, pee in a cup of daddy. Come on now. Come on, dog. Come on.
All right.
Daddy has a test tomorrow.
Just tummy a little squeeze.
All right, so Patreon, if you guys are not already supporters, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And every month we put out a Patreon exclusive episode. You guys can help determine the sort of format of those. If you guys have specific things that you want, let us know. We are always open to accepting feedback on those shows because we try to mix it up. We try to do some different stuff. In the past, we've done some film commentaries, so you can watch along with the film. What did we do? We did Summer School, we did Weird Science, and we did Police Academy 2, right?
So,
So if you guys,
They're good.
yeah. So, and unfortunately, it's not easy for us to do the film commentaries because we would do them all in person, and since now that's not really possible for a little while, anyways, we probably will hold off on doing those. But I'd love to do them again eventually. So if you guys have ideas for films for us to do for those, let us know. But yeah, we want to make these Patreon exclusive episodes something fun for you guys. So if you have an idea, let us know. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be if you want us to do a movie, if you want us to have a discussion, if you want us to talk about something specific, let us know. Trivia contest, I don't know, let us know whatever you guys want. And if you guys don't tell us anything, we'll just kind of go off on our own. But you guys have the ability to kind of shape the way these episodes come out. So by all means, if you have ideas, let us know on Patreon or even on the Facebook group or anywhere in social media. Let us know. I'd love to hear what you guys have in mind. So you can head on over there, and there's 3 different tiers. We got you can be a hunter, you can be a slayer, or a terminator, and each tier gives you some different stuff. With the hunter, you get access to the exclusive episodes that drop monthly, and then you also get access to the blackout tapes. So think of it as a $2 cover charge. If you want access to the semi-regular blackout tapes, you can get into that tier. If you guys want to take part in the Monster Piece Theater Movie Club, which actually will be coming up sometime this month. We're going to plan one for November. We got to figure out the details. But we'll be doing a Monster Piece Theater Movie Club. And what happens there is everyone watches the movie on their own time. You watch the movie. And then what we do is we have a conversation, a somewhat focused conversation about the movie. Think of it like a book club. You read the book, and then you come and chat about it. So we did one a couple months ago. We did Host, a Shudder film. And I thought it was really fucking awesome. And I'm looking forward to doing another one. So I will post soon. I'll post something about that so you guys can help pick the film that we do for the next Monster Piece Theater. So if you have ideas now for them, start throwing them out there. Put them on Patreon, on Facebook, wherever. Just put them out there. Let us know what you guys have in mind, and then we will do We'll do a vote like we wanted to do last time, but didn't have time. So we're gonna do a vote on that. So keep an eye out for that. So. And then also, if you're in the $5 tier, if you're a Slayer, you get access to the video stream. So when we record our exclusive episodes, if you guys want to see the video version, which we typically try to include a little something in there that would make the video worth watching, then go ahead and do that. And then if you guys want to come on the show, like EF Contentment is going to do next week, you guys want to program a show, you want to get all of the other stuff, then you can be a Terminator. And with that, you get access to the Discord as well. And Discord's been hopping, especially during the month of October. We had some people leaving their thoughts about the 31 Days films and everything. So everyone make sure you're a part of Discord. And if you don't have the ability to be on Patreon, if you just can't afford it or whatever, you can still be a part of the Discord server. You just won't have access to all of the rooms. You get access to the general chat. But go ahead and join if you want to, because there's some great conversation that happens here and there. So go ahead and in the show notes, there is a link to the Discord. And if you are not already on Discord, it's super easy to sign up for. It'll take you like less than 30 seconds to get on there and functioning. And yeah, it's a good time. So that's the way you can support us on Patreon if you guys want. I know we got like all sorts of holiday stuff coming up. Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We got all the holidays coming up at the end of December. If you guys are going to do some shopping on Amazon, use our link. Go to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click on it. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session, get some presents for your Nana, your Papa, your Mom, your Dad, your sister, your nephews, Raven Shadow, whoever. It doesn't cost them any extra when they do that, but
it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That's right. So if you guys want to help support the show and you're going to buy stuff on Amazon anyways, just use our link. Click it. We get a little cut. And, every month, like we may get like, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 cents of that. But, enough sales add up. And then that, that goes right into paying for the podcast and paying for the hosting and the website and all the technology that we use and everything. So be super helpful if you guys want. And if you don't want to go to trickortreatradio.com every single week, just go find the link, right-click on it, and then you can bookmark it. Just bookmark the link, and every time you go to Amazon, just click the bookmark. Do you know what a bookmark is, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, it's like it's keep my pages in order.
Keeps your pages in order. Look at the CMZ.
That's like wrong on 2 levels.
Why? If I was on page 1 yesterday, I read page 1, and now I'm on page 2. I'll read that tonight.
It doesn't keep them in order. The book itself keeps them in order.
The binding keeps them in order, Raven Shadow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now you're being fucking, myopic. Okay.
Wow.
And do you really need a bookmark if you only read one page?
I don't want to fold it because it'll ruin the condition. Be worth it, then I'll be able to sell it later on down the line.
You must have some websites bookmarked, Raven Shadow. I know you. You must have some.
No, I don't. I don't bookmark. I don't know how to do that. I clear all my cookies at the end.
You don't even know what that means.
Yeah, what does that mean?
No, but
He eats cookies and he fucking throws them up. Is that what you're talking about?
his name rhymes with Thomas Smythe. They say, click this when you're done. I said, okay, dog. No, I have fun with you. But no, I mean, I don't know. I go on Newsarama, man. You know what I mean? I don't do a lot. I go on trickortreatradio.com. I like that. That's a fun.
You don't go on there.
I've been on it.
What do you do on there?
I look
It's
at
a link to the shows.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you do?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what's
he goes into
show?
the chat room and like scrolls back just to make sure that people aren't talking shit about him. What did Corny say at 8:56?
I had a very good conversation with Corny a couple days ago.
Oh, you guys okay now? Again?
Yeah, are we good now? Because he almost, I could have sworn I heard him jumping into his car last weekend.
Yeah, that's when you're doing your flashbacks.
Now, did you pack away the white hood and we're all good now?
No,
Wow.
no, hush.
Wow.
Fuck, give him some Whitley. All right. Listen.
Yeah.
Corny and I are always going to be okay, right? Because that's the unity that we have together. All right. And everyone knows that. Just because I have medical problems, all right. And I didn't. Once again, you got to listen to the fucking extra special Halloween special, where the boys seem to enjoy that. But once again, people that have fucked up names, all people's names. I read the name for the first time. My glasses off.
Maybe you should do some prep.
Do some prep and put your glasses on.
Yeah.
Wearing-
Evil Corny, I think he left the chat. I think he's hopping in his car right now.
You should be in New England.
Dynamo Mars says Michael Ravenshaw loves cookies.
There's a toll house in the back.
I don't think those are Toll House. They start with E and end with double.
Oh, yeah, that was Sunday. Yeah, it was good. Mars was hanging out in the chat room. It was good. The blackout tapes were dope, though. We went the distance.
Yeah, you guys hit 2 a.m. twice, right?
We did. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah.
Well, it was daylight savings, so you set the clock back at 2 a.m. So at 2 a.m., it actually goes back to be 1 a.m. Ravenshaw. You time traveled.
Oh, is that what that meant?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we did. Yeah, we did that.
Got an extra hour.
Shit. So you better believe. I mean, why don't we just get to the fucking movie? I mean, that's a good segue, right?
All right. The final way you can help support the show is on trickortreatradio.com. Click on store. There you can find the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3. And what?
You okay?
Yeah.
You having a stroke?
Yeah.
Do you not want me to talk about the greatest hits?
Do you smell
fuck is he
toast?
doing?
Stop.
Are you dying? What is going on? You having a heart
Do you
attack?
smell toast?
Smell toast.
I think he's dying. He's dying. Look at him.
He smells himself. Because he's so milk toast.
You're the toast with the host, babe.
So you can, if you are newish to the show, you haven't been around for the whole 8+ years. It's a great way to kind of get a quick little glimpse of our history. You get those Raven Shadow, as I've been saying, the highlights, the lowlights, the midlights, and everything in between, right?
There's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
There's a lot of culture.
There's a lot of culture. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of culture in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is our favorite place in the world right now, I think. Or hopefully will be.
Man.
All right, so All right, that's it. That's enough of the spiel. Now, I want to get Ravenshaw's thoughts. Ravenshaw, you sit down at 6:15 p.m. on Thursday, right before the show, to watch Train to Busan presents Peninsula. What do you do to prepare besides running the house from work? I don't know, grab a beer, grab a fucking Uncrustable, and throw the movie on. What else did you do?
John, you are like fucking little Jack Horner piercing the crystal in my brain right now. Well, I was so rushing. I wanted to get out early. You know what I mean? But what ended up, despite the fact that I watched the film today, I did watch 10 minutes last night. But I get excited because Train to Busan is very important to me. I love that film. We watched it. And it was actually the first film we discussed after my new issue #1 in a previous continuity. So it really set the stage. So I love the film. I love the characters. Once again, my highest praise I can give a film is I want action figures of certain characters. So I was super excited for this joint. Waited a long time for it. And, things went away from me. And I finished about an hour and some minutes today. But it doesn't matter. I fucking watched the movie. So big ups to Korea. You better believe I strapped on.
Oh, dear God.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
we have action.
horror.
An adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast,
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast!
a podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I'm Alex West. And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast. And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's a blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
No. Don't say that.
Like, you really put us under.
It's like swearing in church.
You just jinxed us.
Yeah. you put a lot on our shoulders just now.
Well, we can strive for greatness.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
you really are. You got a great show.
back on Trick or Treat Radio.
Hello.
Two of us are. Oh my God, Aries isn't in his seat.
Yes.
What's going on?
You might still be having tech issues. Who knows?
Nah. He might be having a zipper issue.
Well,
All
we
right.
are back.
Yes. So I'll give these guys another couple minutes, but that's it. I was going to mention when we talked about Train to Busan, in case people are curious. So let me just see if this is the right episode. Yes. Okay. So on episode 229 is where we did Train to Busan. So it was just about 4 years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know why it didn't seem like it was going to be that long ago.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, because in the film they mention it a number of times. 4 years ago. So they're sticking with the time frame, and
so it's like real time.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to believe it's been 4 years, but there it is.
And so on that episode, just as a point to highlight, is we were joined by El Goro, and it was a December double feature Cram Jam episode. So we teamed up Train to Busan with the Funhouse Massacre. So I remember I remember that being a pretty fun show. So if you guys want to go back and listen, that would be episode 229 from December 16th, 2016. And if I'm not mistaken, that must have been at the old Castle Wolfenstein, the studio Castle Wolfenstein. So.
Yes, that was in our last place.
Yep. So there you go. If you guys want to check it out, that's where you can find it. 229. So it was just over 200 episodes ago, 4 years ago. Jeez, it's crazy. I don't know why it just doesn't even seem like it was that long ago. All right, so let me go ahead and run down some of the info here. Train to Busan presents Peninsula. I think they called it that because Train to Busan 2 Peninsula sounds weird. And in Korea, I think it was just called Peninsula. I don't know. I'm not sure what the original name was actually, but here in America, Wellgo USA wanted to call it Train to Busan Presents Peninsula. So, and the film is not rated. It is an hour 56 minutes. It is an action horror thriller. And it is directed by Yeon Sang-ho and written by Yeon Sang-ho and Ryu Young-jae. And the film stars Gang Dong-won, Lee Jung-hyun, Lee Ri, Kwon Hae-hyo, Kim Min-jae, Koo Gyo-hwan, and Kim Do-yoon. I think my Korean's getting slightly better.
Yeah. You can almost pass for Korean with that accent.
Yeah, I don't think so. And the synopsis, very simply, a zombie virus has in the last 4 years spread to all of South Korea. 4 Koreans in Hong Kong sail through the blockade to Incheon for 20 million USD on a truck. That's a weird fucking synopsis.
They got to throw in the USD on that thing.
Yeah, USD. Yeah. Clearly, it's not a very good translation.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Let me see if I can find a better one. Actually.
Yeah, there's usually a couple of them there.
That's the IMDb.
Does it really matter now?
No, not really, but it's... Let's see. Let's see if Rotten Tomatoes has one. Oh. It's giving me shit about my ad block.
All right, let's put it this way. Some people are being sent out to look for $20 million, $20 million US to bring back to Busan, and they're confronted with zombies. Boom, there we go.
Okay, I actually found another one, but yours was good enough. But it says a soldier and his team battle hordes of post-apocalyptic zombies in the wastelands of the Korean Peninsula. There you go. That's a good one.
Fine.
Wait, I actually want to know, Raven Shadow. If you were to have $20 million, how many zeros is that? Like, how would you characterize $20 million?
Characterize it or like pronounce it or like write it.
How would you write it? Let's go with that.
Bunch of motherfucking money, man.
I was waiting for 2 0 0 0 0 0 0
0 0 0 0
comma
comma
0
comma 0 0 0 0 comma.
All right, never mind. I set you up and you didn't fucking.
Why like the Matrix? I don't understand. It'd be the numbers and the one shit. Like I don't know.
Unbelievable.
I am unbelievable. You know.
So the film is obviously it's the sequel, and it's directed by the same director, Yoon Sang-ho. Also did Train to Busan, and he also did another film that we had reviewed on the show. If I can remember the name of it now, it was what was the name of that one? Do you guys remember the
Truck to Busan?
Truck to Busan. No. Here it is. Psychokinesis. That was it.
Oh yeah.
Planes, trains, and automobiles to Busan.
That'd be great. 2 guys trying to go home for Thanksgiving dinner, and they're gonna like fight zombies.
Yeah.
And that's a fucking movie. We should write that script.
There you go.
Put that on the fucking list.
What was it? Planes, trains, automobiles to Busan?
Yeah.
Hey, I could be a title. But I still now. Did he have anything to do with South Station, the animated picture?
Soul Station.
Soul,
I think.
Soul Station.
He did have a part. Let me see.
Yeah. Which is also good in its own right. If you haven't checked it out, it's on Shudder. Check it out. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I don't know what he had to do with it actually. I didn't see it. You saw it, MZ?
I saw it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a prequel to Train to Busan.
Yep. Yeah, he did. So he wrote and directed it as well. Yep. It threw me off because it's giving the Korean name Seoul-yak. Seoul-yak. So Seoul Station. So so you can check that out online if you want to. But all right, so let's talk about Peninsula. So this one, it was rumored for a little while, that it was going to happen, and obviously it took 4 years after Train to Busan had come out, and obviously, rightfully so, there's a lot of hype about this movie because Train to Busan was very, for a zombie film, it was able to inject something that felt different. It added that South Korean sort of vibe to films where they have really good story, really emotional connections with characters, and it just worked on so many levels, right? Like the relationship with the father and the daughter, and it just was so it really tugged on the heartstrings, and it did it in such a good way with some really good zombie mayhem, and also that Raven Shadow likes to reference, that team up. It's got that team up aspect, Raven Shadow.
Oh my, yeah, the characters and the characters who meet together, who would not get along or should even know each other if it wasn't in fact for a zombie apocalypse.
Yep.
And once again, the highest thing I could do is I want action. I still want a fucking a 3-pack action figure set of fucking the dad, the baseball player, and the hoss.
Yeah.
I want that. I want McFarlane Toys to get on this.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
And
well, I'm sure they got something. I'm sure there are some action figures from Train to Busan that's out there. You just got to look for them.
Could be.
I'm sure there's something out there.
So
yeah, I keep checking Walmart. There's no fuck. There's no.
You're not gonna find it at Walmart, you ass.
So before we dive into this, I kind of want to get some expectations. I want to check our expectations because obviously I think we all loved Train to Busan. I don't think Aries wasn't around for Train to Busan when we did that. So he hadn't seen it. You didn't get a chance to. I assume you didn't get a chance to watch Train to Busan this week, did you, Aries?
Actually, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, awesome.
I managed to squeeze that in. Yep.
Awesome, very good. So I guess real quick, what did you think of that film?
It was a very enjoyable movie.
Yeah,
I think you guys. I'm mad at you guys for not recommending that to me.
Well, we did
no,
do it
I
on
mean
the
you guys.
show.
Yeah, no, you guys have talked that up like every time you mention it. It's just like, okay, I gotta watch it. And then with the sequel coming up, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna put some things on hold and watch this in case it's a necessary thing to, see the original before you see the sequel. Even though you don't need to watch it, but you should watch it.
Yeah, and you're right. So this is 4 years later. And it doesn't include any of the same characters. All new cast, all new characters, all new story. It just takes place in the same world 4 years later. So we'll just kind of set that right off the bat here. So obviously, Aries didn't really have any expectations, I'm sure, because you just literally probably watched it before you watched the second one. So
yeah, I mean, I watched one and then started the first one I watched Monday, started the second one on Tuesday.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I fell asleep. I don't know how I did that, but yeah, I managed to fall asleep. So I had to rewind and watch the rest of it yesterday.
Well, at least you got it in yesterday. Unlike
Johnny.
some other people.
I'll got it in.
All right, so MZ, any expectations coming up?
Well, the expectations were rather high, of course, because the film is not only not only is it a very good movie, but it was also very successful, not only in its native land, but really all over the world. And I was first tuned into it by when we had Tony Timpone on the show.
Oh yeah.
Sometime before the film's release, and. At that point still, the zombie genre was still rather stagnant, but Train to Busan really injected a lot of heart and a lot of energy into this film, and it really made it an exciting watch. So the anticipation level on this film, of course, was naturally very, very high. And now whether it succeeded in doing so in its execution, we'll find out.
And Raven Shadow, obviously, I know you love the first one as well. And obviously, you had mentioned in sort of the ramp up to the break that you were really looking forward to this one. So, any other thing you want to add about expectations?
It's hard. Once again, knowing that you weren't. It wasn't going to be like a direct sequel to the picture. Like we weren't going to see, Vincent and Jules running amok again. What are they up to next? Or The Hangover 2 or whatnot. And not to compare like Iron Eagle 1 to Iron Eagle 2, but it's a whole different fucking. It's fucking absurd. But the same sensibility, I guess I was ramped up about, and like Aries said, you don't need to watch one to understand the other. But I did love the film so much. One thing,
go ahead.
Just one last thing. In the last couple of years, I know the whole joke of me not watching movies, but I have such a greater appreciation in the last, let's say, 4 or 5 years for Korean cinema. I am so excited whenever something comes across my desk. about that. And if it's a sequel to a picture that I fucking adored, Ollie loved it. So we were both very excited to watch this picture.
All right.
You don't have a dead disc.
One thing I wanted to mention is Train to Busan in 2016 cost $8.5 million US dollars to make. That was the budget for the film, and it ended up grossing 92.7 million worldwide. So that's a big success. Most of that was in let's see. Interesting enough, it says domestically it made 2 million. I don't know if it means domestic to the U.S. because I'm looking at Box Office Mojo. That's my guess. And it says international, it made 90 million. So my guess is it made all that money in Korea for the most part. So
a lot of fucking...
yeah, I mean that's really good for like a non-Hollywood sort of blockbuster, 92 million. So for the sequel, they doubled their budget essentially, and it was 16 million was the budget. So, they definitely upped the budget a little bit on this one here. Well, almost doubled it, I guess you could say. And let me see if I can find the information as to what. The interesting thing about Train to Busan Peninsula is it came out during COVID. So I don't know if it was never going to have a chance to make as much money. So domestically here in the U.S., it made 1.2 million. So it didn't quite hit that 2 million barrier that it did with the original. And internationally, it only made 36.5 million. Once again, I'm guessing that has a lot to do with COVID and sort of restrictions on going to the theaters and going out. So I don't know if that's an indication of, the quality. I think it's more or less the sign of the times, Sorry, MZ. We keeping you awake here?
No. I'm good. Just stretching.
And yawning into the mic.
So sleepy.
All right, so let's talk about Peninsula. So yes, sequel, 4 years later, go. MZ, what was what were your initial thoughts?
Well, I knew that this film was going to have. Well, actually, I didn't know, but because of the success of the first film, I was kind of pleasantly surprised to see that there were American actors and a lot of English speaking from our Korean counterparts. I don't know if that was to satisfy the American audiences or whatever, but for some reason I find it kind of pleasing to see that when a movie like Train to Busan does well in America, in the sequel they decide to add in some American actors.
Well, they were, and to be fair, they weren't really like a big part of the film, but still,
no. I mean, they could have easily just gotten Korean actors to play those parts, but they got American actors, and I thought that was, that's pretty cool. Now my initial thought of the film, I don't know. I mean, I know what my ranking is going to be. I know what I'm rating it. But I don't want to spill it all out.
If you don't want to spill it, I mean that's fine. I guess I'll start, and you guys can kind of like jump in whenever. So this is a very different film, even though it is a zombie film. It takes place in we had a film on a smaller scale in Train to Busan because almost the entire film takes place on a train, right? Obviously they're in train stations, and it does go beyond just the train, but it's a very self-contained. This is almost like the exact opposite. It's very expansive, and
Yeah.
it's a wide open landscape where they're in the world, and it's a very different feel to it. Whereas I felt like Train to Busan was very claustrophobic almost, because one of the things that makes it so effective is because you're on a train, like, and you can't get off. Like, I mean, unless the train stops, you can get off the train, but otherwise you're stuck on a fucking train with zombies. And that to me is like, fuck, that's such a great concept, like it's such a really interesting angle on it. And with this, they had to do something, because if obviously you can't do the same thing. I mean, you can't do like Speed 2, right? You can't be like Boat to Busan, or Plane to Busan. It's got to be something different. And I think they took it in the right way. But in doing so, I feel like it took a little bit of the charm away. And I feel that it felt a little bit more like your typical zombie film.
Okay. I know where you're coming from now.
Yeah.
As far as explaining on our thoughts on the film, you're 100% correct. The first film had that claustrophobic feel where you are on a train. Have any of you guys ever been on a train?
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
what's a train?
I've been on a train. I've been on a train.
I think everyone's been on a train.
Okay.
You've ever been in a car.
I don't know if you've ever been on a train.
Have you ever been in a bus?
Have you ever been in a kayak? Okay.
Have you ever been in a rickshaw?
Do you guys have lights in your house? Yeah, motherfucker.
Do you guys have electricity yet?
You peckerheads. Now listen. But Wolfie is 100% correct.
Does it have wheels?
He doesn't stop. The claustrophobic feel that you get in the original film, it was incredible. I mean, you're basically in one long tube and you got nowhere to go. Here, it's like you said, it's very expansive. It's open. It's out in the air. You got an entire area. It's almost like Grand Theft Auto. Okay, you got all this room, room to roam around in, and because of that, even though you're dealing with a whole lot more zombies, you're also taking away the intimacy of being confined to one area. And so while that might equal to some more action-packed scenes, the claustrophobic feel and the intensity of having nowhere to go except in one direction is completely lost, and that's a shame.
I think an oversimplification of these two movies is Alien and Aliens, where you have you're trying to 180 the direction of the movies because you can't recreate the original movie, so you're trying to double down and create a new feeling for the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think that and this is a damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of scenario. If they had done something similar, I feel it would have felt too unoriginal. Like if it took place on, let's say, a fucking boat or something like that. I think you're dealing with, they're trying to capture that magic a second time, and I feel that it would just feel like it was forced. So I can totally understand that. So I understand going in a different direction, but it's difficult to find the heart of what made the first one work and to transfer it into this different environment almost, and I think that was a challenge. I think they mostly pulled it off. I think that there's a lot of successful stuff in here, especially towards the end. I think the end really ties things up. Won't speak too much about that yet, but I feel that it really kind of it's this storytelling and it's the emotion between the characters, and that's one of the things I love. Something we see at the beginning of the episode, or the beginning of the episode, the beginning of the movie is something that comes back later on. That's actually like a major plot point, which I really dug.
Now, see that at the opening scene, that felt very tacked on, and it didn't feel organic like the first film had. It felt like it was trying to like completely mimic what the first film had, and it just didn't come across as organic to me. It came across very tacked on. It almost like an afterthought.
What scene are you referring to?
Are you talking about when they're trying to escape and then he meets
I'm talking about specifically with the mother and her child.
Okay, so the car.
Not so much the car, but after that, when they reached their safety place.
I'm not sure what you're talking about now. I thought I knew, but
their place where they were safe. Their destination.
Yeah.
What is that noise?
I was just about to tell you guys I'm going to try and fix it. It's just some weird echo, so let me just drop the call. I'll add you guys right back again, see if that fixes it. So this is going to be, kind of interesting as I try to get this back. But so let me add these guys back, see if it's fixed.
Fake, they tacked on, like it wasn't organic to the story.
All right, you guys.
And they were just trying to recreate. What was successful in that first one.
I'm still hearing that fucking robot shit. Can all you guys hang up? I'm gonna restart the call. So
okay.
all you guys hang. Raven Chat, I'll take care of you. Okay. Obviously. I apologize about this, but I can't deal with that. So I'm gonna get these guys back in a second here, but So I think in terms of the you know what? I apologize to our listeners. Just give me 1 sec, because it's hard for me to try to discuss the film and do some tech stuff here. So I'm just going to try and get these guys back here in a sec, because I cannot deal with roboting voices. And I don't want to deal with that. All right, instead of dead air, let me just get something queued up here real quick. Play a song or something like that. Let's see, what should I play? Of course, now I have to fucking find something. Went down that rabbit hole. That's always fun. All right, so I'm just gonna play something real quick here. This is just a song. I don't know. It's the first thing I thought of. This is a song that I wrote for a wrestler. I'll tell you more about it after. But I just wanted to get this going here, and then I'll get these guys back. Maybe. I think we have Aries back.
I'm back. Yeah.
Okay. I don't
Hello.
All right. I don't hear that sound anymore. I had to restart Raven Shadow's computer because Skype wouldn't fucking close. So I wonder if it was him.
God, that was awful.
I know.
All right. A metal guitar solo is not exactly a good sound to come back to because I thought my computer was blowing up.
Then it is a good sound to come back to. Oh man, what a load of shit right in the middle of the fucking review. So I'll get Raven Shadow back. I had to restart his computer. So it's funny if people aren't aware. I don't trust Raven Shadow using a computer, so I remote desktop into his, and that's how I control it. So I control my own computer and I control his. So I don't want him touching it.
All right. Are we doubling down on me? Is that what the solution is here?
No. Well, it's because Raven Shadow is not here. So what it does is it takes like another camera and puts it in there. I don't know.
The best looking camera? Is that what's
maybe.
going
Hey,
on?
maybe that's what it is. Yeah, maybe that's how they figure it out. And of course, now Raven Shadow Skype is updating.
Well, he's not in the room anyway. He said he was going for a smoke.
Of course he
He
was.
is. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, because trying to reconnect. Just let's smoke. Okay.
I'm going to. I might lose you guys for a sec.
Here.
All right, you guys.
Yes.
You guys probably didn't hear. I said I'm probably going to lose you guys for a sec.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah, we did.
I'm going to, and then nothing. So,
Yeah, I think my Wi-Fi might be. I don't think that's the reason for the other thing, but my Wi-Fi was like kind of slowing down, so I just turned it off, and I'm on my phone signal. So this is way more
stop
information.
streaming porn during the show.
Yeah, like I have time to watch that.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is way more information than anyone needs on how we operate the show, but it's hard for me to run the show. I'm trying to do stuff. So MZ, if you want to go ahead and dive into some more stuff. We were talking about sort of the difference between these two films in terms of this one being more expansive and a different environment. I don't know if you have anything else to add to that while I get this up and running.
Well, the last thing I was talking about was the how they were trying to mimic the heart of a parent to a child, to their child in this film, in comparison to the first film. It just feels very. It doesn't feel organic at all. It feels very tacked on. Another thing was again, as Wolfie said, it started feeling like any other zombie film. You got your heroes, you got your anti-heroes, and they're all doing this. They all do what we all expect them to do. The heroes try to save the day. In this case, i.e., save a family while trying to collect the $20 million. And then you got the anti-heroes who are ready to do the opposite of that. And the anti-heroes are just, your basic cardboard cutout anti-hero zombie film characters. They all go by some sort of military rank, even though they're probably not military at all. But they give themselves these names. It's almost kind of like it's almost like The Walking Dead meets Mad Max. This movie, so it's completely unoriginal in that aspect. Because there is this one scene where there's this really, really long, and at times can be good car chase. But it just felt so Fury Road to me. Because there's even this one character that they keep going back to, not too many times, but every now and again, where there's this one character on the anti-hero side who's laughing maniacally as he's driving like 70 miles an hour down a road, trying to catch up with our heroes. And it just reads Mad Max to me. It's just ridiculous. Another sore point / good point, but more on the sore point area, is the zombies. I think the zombies, when they're on screen in human form, played by actual actors, they look pretty good. But man, I would say 75% of these zombies is just CGI, and it's horrid CGI too. It just does not look good. It's really rather ugly. A lot of it takes place in the dark, so there's a lot of nighttime driving, a lot of nighttime killing, and it just doesn't look too good to me. You know, the zombies in human form look really, really good. I just wish there was a lot more of that. And unfortunately, there's just too much CGI, too much green screen going on, and a few instances of wire work that you could obviously tell. That's not too much of a hindrance, but the CGI and the green screen effects, it cheapens this movie. I think they took a major nosedive in this movie. This movie is really a big letdown.
Wow.
Now, see, I'm going to comment. The CGI is very noticeable in this movie. I'm not going to argue that point. So, but it is not the best we've seen, but it is not the worst we've seen. And having just watched the original a day before watching this, there is, I mean, not percentage-wise, but quality-wise, CGI in the original as to this one. They were doubling down because this was, it's a sequel. You got to go bigger, better, more. And like I said, Alien to Aliens, they didn't want to do the same movie. They wanted to give you a new movie, but based on the original story. And I actually think they did a decent job of it. They could have explored a lot more into the character development in this movie, because although there is heroes and anti-heroes and villains in this movie, there were layers, and that could have been dove into more, especially with the military rankings that obviously were established before this movie took place, but weren't adhered to. And you see that, like, as the movie takes place, where obviously a lower ranking is more intimidated by a higher ranking simply because of what they're willing to do. And I thought that could have been dove into more and explored more. And there actually was one, I don't know if necessarily you can call it a character or just an entity that appears in this movie very briefly, which I thought could have been done. You've never seen anything like this before, at least I haven't, and I thought that was going to be the main, the what was going to happen at the climax of this movie, and then you never saw it again. I guess it's not necessarily a spoiler because you do see it early on. The best way I can describe it would be a zombie king, going to the term of Rat King in New York sewers. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that term.
Yeah.
Villain from the Turtles.
God damn it. Rat King is just a bunch of rats that have, for whatever reason, have merged into one. Whether it's real or not is debatable.
Yeah.
But you see a zombie version of that in this movie.
Yeah,
And I thought that could have been explored.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting as well. There was, honestly, this reminded me, and MZ might know what I'm talking about more specifically, but this actually reminded me of like Land of the Dead.
Yeah.
It's more similar to Land of the Dead than like some other zombie films I've seen, in terms of like the fighting pit, or the fighting arena, and I don't know. There's just a few things that remind me of it, and I think Land of the Dead's fine. I mean, is it as good as Night, Dawn, or Day? No, but is it better than Diary or Survival? Fuck yes.
Yeah, you're right on that. The whole idea of playing games with zombies is a tired concept. It really is. It's boring because, I mean, either you get chomped or you don't. You know, there's no style to it. There's nothing to amp it up. It's just after a while of seeing things like that, it just gets boring. You know,
yeah.
We've seen this before. It's this. Unfortunately, this movie offers absolutely nothing new.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could argue that a lot of what happens in this movie has been done in every other zombie movie, but a lot of your problems with this movie, you're comparing the car chase to Fury Road. Okay, Fury Road is not a zombie movie. Yeah. I mean, you got a pretty decent car chase in a zombie movie. I can't think of that happening in another zombie movie. I mean, they add aspects in this movie from other movies, but not necessarily a zombie movie, which adds to this movie.
Yeah, but the zombies don't have. I mean, outside of the fact that they're roaming around all over the place, the zombies have very little to do with the narrative of the car chase scene. It's a bunch of cars going after one or two other cars. The zombies are just in the background. They really have nothing to do with it at all.
Okay, so it's a car chase.
Yeah, and it's not a very good one.
I disagree. I disagree.
Well, that's fine.
I think that is a fairly decent car chase. And the fact that they incorporate the zombies in at certain times as a unique element to that car chase. Because there are things that happen you've never seen happen in any other car chase.
But but CGI and the green screen, it just throws me completely out of it.
Okay, well, you're getting into budgetary restraints.
No, let's not start talking about budgetary constraints, okay? I'm
Why?
not talking about budgetary because it's not part of what I'm talking about.
But it is. You're complaining that the CGI isn't up to your standards. Because it isn't the best, but it's not the worst. For the money they had, this is decent CGI.
Every time we have a discussion about a film, it comes down to budgetary constraints with you. There are other things involved in a film other than budgetary constraints.
Yeah, but what you're arguing about boils down to money. We're not arguing story. You're arguing CGI, which is money.
Well, they had a double budget, and the CGI, what there was of it in the first film, was far better than what they had here.
No, it was the same quality. It just wasn't the amount.
This was simply. I think it was you that said that bigger means better, or you were referring to something about bigger meaning better.
Bigger, better.
Not in this case. Yeah, not in this case. I don't think so.
That's what they were going for. But the CGI in the original is the same quality as in this movie. I watched them back to back.
Well, it's been about maybe 6 months since I've seen Train to Busan.
Well,
okay. I watched them back to back.
And the difference could be is that they did have to go bigger in this, so they had to show more zombies. Whereas in Train to Busan, they just didn't have to show as many. So they probably didn't need to tax the CGI budget as much, you know?
I mean, the scene in Train to Busan where there's that a tidal wave of zombies. You know the scene I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's an incredible scene. Totally CGI, but an incredible scene. I mean, the CGI in this, where when cars are driving down the road really fast and they're like taking a turn, sideswiping zombies, hitting them right out of the frame. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all.
It is too CGI, like too. It's almost too cartoonish to me. I did actually really enjoy some of those scenes because that was something different. Like, so I think I'm kind of on board with Aries. Like, it felt different. I don't know that I've seen a zombie movie do that. However, there are limitations. You know, like you can't make that look like stellar. You know, because there's no way to realistically have a car, like basically bowl into like a fucking pile of zombies and have them go flying like they're bowling, in real life. There's no way to do that,
Well, if I may quote Dr. Ian Malcolm, they were too busy thinking about whether or not that they could. They never stopped to think if they should.
Yeah.
Oh God, no, that's bullshit.
Because not.
No. You know what? Stop for a second. Stop for a second. Stop for a second.
No, wait.
Stop for a second. No.
Wait.
No. You shut up. No, shut up. Shut up. Raven Shadow was about to speak before, and we both interrupted him.
Oh,
okay. He's actually. I was getting him back.
Now he's gone.
Now he's gone. Yeah.
Oh.
Did he leave?
No.
I still see him on the screen.
I had to get him back because his camera was like really dark and I could barely even see him, so I had to restart his Skype. So he should be back in a second. Are you even there yet, Raven Shadow? Are you there now?
I hear you guys.
Okay, he hears us. He can't see us. So go ahead, Aries.
I want him to speak.
Were you guys talking the whole time?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Specifically about you.
Yeah, you were gonna make a point. Please make it worth my while here.
Yeah,
yes. I thought so. I forget where I left off, but I think. Where can I go begin? Yes, I mean this definitely had some right, wrong, and different Walking Dead elements to it. I don't really see the Mad Max comparison. I see the more of the Escape New York comparison to it. Where I was kind of interested in the world that Peninsula ended up being. Even taking it back to what Monster Zero talked about, the American or English influence. I think a lot of that was done to show the scope that this was something that happened in Korea. And it was kind of telling the tale of what happened 4 years later, almost like, 20 days later to 28 weeks later, whatever the fuck. It's not a direct sequel. It's just in that world. What I was looking forward to this most in this picture was the heart in the characters, where unlike, and I think once again, people are gonna bitch and fucking complain because it's mainstream, or I stopped watching in season 2, and which the fact that you want to, people, not you or anyone, can hate on Walking Dead all they want, but you can't deny the talent on that program. Whether you like it or not, it's fucking Frank Darabont, it's fucking the effects, but they've done.
Well, Darabont was like what, the first fucking season or the first couple episodes?
I'm sorry, who was the effects guy? Who was the effects guy with the ponytail?
Nicotero.
Nicotero.
Right. Galen Hurd. You can't deny that there's still talent involved in that program. But I don't think we've seen that's done. The zombies aren't the most of a threat thing better than most cinema or media. And I think what Train to Busan had, you had scary zombies on a fucking train. And it did what I love the most, where it takes a genre and just takes something, it makes a simple twist and makes it great. But this was in that world. And I was looking most forward to who are the characters. Will there be a team? Will there be friends that forge amongst all this chaos? And that's what I was most excited to view in this picture, even though it was a completely different setup. And I'm coming in late to a lot of conversation. I was in the dock for a while. So
you literally are still in the dark. I don't know what's going on with your fucking camera.
Oh, don't tell him that. He's gonna gonna happen.
Should I comb my hair again? Maybe I should. But yeah, I mean they were military. And no, I liked the most when they were putting the numbers on the people. Did they make a Chan Ho Park reference?
Did they?
I don't know. Did they?
Yeah, number 61. I thought it was I thought it was a Korean baseball player they made a reference to.
They made a reference to baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that. I didn't catch the player though.
When it was the military guy's brother-in-law.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
made me
Yeah,
smile.
I don't know if that was a reference, but
They said the name. I thought it was Chan Ho Park. And I'm pretty sure was he the guy that spin kicked the dude when he's trying to charge them out.
I don't remember actually. I think it might have been.
Who was the guy that did like the fucking kick and like put him in the dirt?
Is it Alcantara?
No, he's talking about there was either a Japanese or Korean player. I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember exactly.
Because the catcher made a comment. He's like, yeah, well, he does karate in his spare time. I hunt. I don't bring a fucking rifle to the fucking mound or something along those lines.
You were right though. He was number 61.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it must have been because they did make a baseball reference. I just don't remember the name.
Yep.
That was pretty cool. But yeah, I got more of an escape from New York, and I'd be kind of more interested in the world that happened with that. I liked who was the sergeant? Not the bad guy sergeant. Our hero, who could have been once again another Korean Dick Grayson.
You're talking about the main character?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the main character was Jung Seok.
Yeah.
Played by Gong Dong-won.
I love Dong-won, DeMarco. He was great. I love when he had his hair growing in the fucking aftermath. I just thought he was up.
You thought he was handsome.
He was handsome. But yeah, there were definitely some. I feel like I'm coming in late to the fucking episode because I am.
Well, yes. And we still don't have your camera back, Raven Shadow. So when you stop talking, I'm going to hang up on you and try to get you back.
It was a click.
So get all your points out, and then we'll me and MZ will argue some more.
I was enjoying that. I was like, yeah, kick his ass. I was enjoying that.
Kick his ass, A-Bass.
That's fun.
So does that mean you're done?
I think he's.
I don't even know. I don't know. I had one motherfucker yelling at the other motherfucker yelling.
All right, we're hanging up on you. We're gonna argue some more. We'll check in with you when we're done.
I'm gonna go on sensitive.
Yeah, I'm gonna try one more time to get your camera back, Raven Shadow. So just bear with us for a second. You're gonna miss some of the conversation. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm going home.
This is one last attempt to try to get your camera back. You're going home. Yeah, you're gonna walk 10 feet to your bedroom. But we will start winding down because it is getting late. So but we'll do the verdict when you get back. We'll wait. So what? Trying to think what else I wanted to say about this. There was a couple cool things. Like I liked the way the movie looked, even though it was, like very CGI. I thought they did a decent job with the landscapes in the way that they looked. And, I think that there was a lot to like about this. And even though, like, some of the driving scenes were very almost comical looking, like cartoonish, I still think that they looked interesting. Like, there was, like, one scene where the car was coming off the bridge and landing down on, like, a road beneath it. And it just looked really, like, fluid, like liquid. It didn't look right. It didn't look natural. But it's still, watching it was like, that was cool. Like, it was a cool scene, but it just didn't look natural. Like, I think that was kind of like my main issue with it. So, but they did do some interesting things with the zombies. Actually, the one thing I liked, I'm surprised no one brought up yet, was the remote control car. I thought with the daughter who used the remote control car, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like. Go ahead, MZ.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a nice diversionary tactic.
One thing they did play up a lot was
it made it interesting a little bit.
The one thing I did like that they played up a lot was the sound being very distracting to the zombies, and we've seen that before. I mean, like I think I'm trying to think of what they've done that in other films. I can't think exactly which ones off the top of my head right now, but I thought that they stuck with that through to the end, especially with like the Roman candles and and things like that. I thought they did some interesting things with them, that I kind of appreciated that they stuck with throughout. But and that's a good way to distract them, and they kind of sold that early on, and then continue to play with it throughout the rest of the film, which I thought was good. So,
see, I thought they kind of didn't hold true necessarily to their rules with the zombies, especially going from one movie to the other with the light and sound. I thought they kind of played a little loose with it in this one. Just a little bit here and there. Like the zombies seemed a little more sensitive to things in the first one compared to this one.
All right, got your back, Raven Chat. I'll get your camera too.
Yeah, they were very sensitive zombies. They were in touch with their feelings, and they were really into knitting, and they had a lot of crystals.
Jesus.
Maybe I shouldn't have brought it back.
Yeah, no. It's technical issues. We're losing you, Raven Shadow. We're losing you. Cut him, Johnny.
You can still cut him, Johnny.
Oh man, Raven Shadow, you're a very sensitive zombie.
I got a lot of emotionality involved. I get
So okay, well let's before we head to a verdict, let's talk about the emotionality. To quote Raven Shadow. Do you think that this even reached the level of the first one in terms of the emotion, the inherent emotion, and the relationships, or we'll start with you, Raven Shadow, because I know that was a big thing for you in the first one.
All right, no, it didn't, but it still had some moments. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not sure what I missed when I was gone.
Oh, just talk. That's what you do best.
Talk. But no, I mean, there was the fucking drive-by scene, fucking, kind of got you a little bit. And when that comes full circle,
You're talking about the beginning of the film, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I dug that. Like, I know it, because at the time you see them sort of drive by, and this family is looking for help. They're like, please, even if you don't trust us, take our daughter. And it's like, oh man, like that's kind of a dick move to just go, but I understand it.
But here's the thing about that though. I mean, let's take it into fucking, once again, you can look at this picture from a year ago at this time. Let's put it into the fucking COVID world now.
Yeah.
Or like, I'll be on even down to, let's fucking, even whatever the fuck. If I'm on break smoking a butt, someone's like, "Oh, can I have a butt?" Like, no, fuck, I'm not gonna give you. I don't want to touch it. We're experiencing some of that without this. I'm kind of making a joke, but like, we're afraid of each other now.
Yeah, I mean,
inherently trying each other.
Yeah, inherently, you shouldn't just trust somebody and trust that they. Like that is a different thing. Whereas before, you'd meet someone and you just like shake their hands, you give them, give them a bro hug or whatever. And now you don't do that. It's like, okay, well, now there's a lot of mistrust because, and I don't mean mistrust. It's just that you don't know what that person, where they've been, who they've touched, where they've been, who they've been around. It's and that is in this day and age kind of scary, right?
Right. I mean, once again, we are living in the zombie apocalypse on the easy setting.
Right, exactly. Yeah, this is story mode.
Where no one's trying to bite you, but you still have that fear now. And it sucks having that, but if you watch you walking out by someone without a mask on, you're like, fuck, I was in a fucking Packer show the other fucking day. I did get a couple of Coors Banquets. It was nice. But there was a fucking guy, he's probably 60s, came in the store with he was covering his face like he was a secret agent in Cloak and Dagger, the Jack Flack fucking movie, trying to cover with his thing. And then another fucking guy came in, just no mask at all. And I had to be someplace, but I could only mouse the fucking doorknobs as I walked out. But we are afraid of each other now. And it's a different context living in this world. And once again, no one's trying to bite you yet.
Yet, yeah.
But you can kind of understand that.
If some president doesn't get his way, people might be biting.
Right. I'm riding with biting. But you can kind of understand some of that fear a little bit. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but you can understand it.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it is something that, we've never had to deal with in our lifetimes like this, right? So, obviously this is not you you have some crazy asshole bite you and then all of a sudden you're the undead. But, COVID could be scary, whether it affects you or someone you love and someone you pass it on to, it's not something you want, right?
And that's the biggest thing where I would think that if someone said, take my child, fucking, I want no fucking kids, but you want to have the human element of, yes, fucking get in the fucking car. We'll fucking get there. I mean, I've been to fucking we've left parties. I had fucking 8 people in my fucking Chevy Cavalier. We can make everyone fit. But that was in the late 90s, early 2000s, when a cop wouldn't kill you.
Yeah, no shit.
But then was that realization when the whole 31, the number 31 came to my mind. So there was some emotionality when that number was mentioned.
So, yeah, and I'll kind of piggyback on that. And while I will say the last 10 minutes of this really had me, I was like, oh fuck, I was drawn in, and I was rooting for people. And they did a good job of sort of weaving a little bit of that throughout, especially with the sort of chance encounter that he had earlier and sort of the guilt that was left with him. And also, we did get a little bit of an arc where, where the main character, let me get his name here again, Jung Seok, where he sort of has this journey where he, starts point A and then goes to point B, and that has a lot to do with the ending of the film, if sort of his development. So for that, I was kind of rooting for him in that sense, and then also just because of the connections that he had made, sort of a little bit of that as well, rooting for people. So in a sense, the end of this film was really kind of tugging on my heartstrings a little bit. But I feel like it was almost a little too late to really dig its claws in, so to speak, So, I wish they had maybe done a little bit more to grab you earlier in terms of the emotion of the film. But I think it was there, just maybe a little bit too late, to really make it matter.
Was there too many people in it?
Maybe. I mean, that could be part of it. And, I understand the ensemble cast, and I understand kind of why they went in that direction. But, I mean, that could have hindered it for sure. Yeah.
And you didn't have any kind of emotional bond to any of these characters, really, the way you did in the original.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go in the original, they established that there was your emotional bond throughout these characters. They didn't do this in this movie until the middle to the end of this movie, and it was just it was more of an afterthought, and it didn't have the same punch that the original did.
Yep.
That's fair. I mean, I like the family. And
Yeah.
they were the only. We only saw the evil rogue military folks, and then we saw the one family.
Yeah, and I did really enjoy a lot of the characters, and especially like let's see, even though we didn't really get a good sense of what he was all about, but Captain CO, sort of like the leader of that, sort of like military organization, like he was an interesting character, and he kind of went on this little arc as, from wanting to do this one thing to essentially kind of having this opportunity to do something else. Like, I thought that was interesting, and I don't remember the character's name, unfortunately, but the other sort of like not his right-hand man, but the one who found the truck.
Huang?
Was it? Yeah, Sergeant Huang.
General Huang.
Sergeant Huang, yeah.
Sergeant
Yeah.
Huang.
Yeah, played by Kim Min-jae. I did like his character as well, and I thought that they did a good job of kind of utilizing him. But once again, it was just a little, not enough time to really flesh them out because of this sort of ensemble cast. But I did think that there was some interesting characters that they did bring forward. But yeah, we're going from Train to Busan, which really was the focus of like 2 people, and then we added in a few extra people here and there, to all of a sudden now, instead of 3 like people, we're really dealing with 3 groups almost,
And that was interesting. As those stories sorry, MZ, I'll be quick. As those stories converged, I was hoping of more of as they converged, they merged more.
Yeah.
The evil Sergeant Wang, I was hoping he would break out from being one-dimensional. And there were some snippets up there where, like, I like the scene when he came into the captain's room, captain's quarters.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. That was fun. That was a good scene. Yeah.
You got a drink. It's like, oh, you guys are like this now.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And once again, I love the first time we see the captain, and where he goes from there. And I did love the last time we saw the captain. That was a pretty fucking dope scene.
Yeah. No, there was definitely enough good stuff in here. And I mean, to be fair, like, I feel like we're just like, our review is comparing it to the original, and I want it to kind of stand on its own. It's hard not to compare them, obviously, but generally, I guess this is the last thing we'll talk about. I actually was hoping to kind of wrap it up there, but I do want to talk a little bit more of the sort of the positives potentially. Did you guys enjoy the action in this?
Yes, I did.
I don't think it stood out on its own, but I thought that there was enough to make it really interesting. I'm sorry, Aries, go ahead.
Oh no, I just, like I said before, I'd like the bringing in, although not original aspects, but things you see in other movies, but bringing them into a genre that you don't normally see it. As in the big one is the car chase scene, but there was a lot of just little things you see in other movies that, it's not necessarily original, but you just don't get them in a zombie movie. And I like that aspect to this.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. MZ, any thoughts about the action?
For me, it was too much CGI, too much green screen. I just didn't particularly care for that at all. And I mean, it's an interesting idea to put a car, not only a car chase scene, but a big car chase scene. I mean, this lasted a while.
Yeah.
In a horde full of zombies, but it just did not work for me because of the technical aspects behind it. I just did not care for it.
All right. Anything else you guys haven't brought up yet that you wanted to? All right. Let's head to the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Peninsula was a trick or a treat, and any final thoughts we may have. Let's kick it off with MZ.
Because we were looking so forward to this film, we were possibly putting on a high level. That being said, it was just not a very good movie. It came crashing down as a big disappointment for me. I think it could have been something. I was really looking forward to this movie, hoping it would be something good. I mean, I wanted something the same, but something different, but bigger doesn't always mean better. In this case, that's definitely true. It's not a very good movie. The characters are Some of the characters are one-dimensional. They try to hop on the emotional aspect of the first film. Sergeant Huang, who I thought would be a really interesting character, turned out one-dimensional and really nothing to him at all. So this is a trick rather for me. I just didn't particularly care for this movie at all.
Wow.
This was not so much of a chore for me, but it just a huge disappointment.
Wow. If this wasn't the sequel to Train to Busan, do you think it would be a trick? Like if it was just a normal movie that we watched, or is it hard to separate the expectations from the film?
Well, that's the thing, because this can be a standalone film. You don't have to watch the first film to watch this film.
Right.
So, I mean, that being said, but still, it's the technical aspects and the character development. It just wasn't there. So, with that being said, no, it still wasn't a good movie. No, this is definitely a trick.
All right, well, let's go to Aries and find out his thoughts.
I think they tried to bite off more than they could chew with this movie. They tried to go too big, too quickly with this movie. I think probably they could have, you could actually, within this world, this could be a whole series of movies, and they could be all done very well. But I think they just tried to go too big too quickly with this movie. Because a lot of what MZ was saying with the whole CGI, I think money is a lot to do with it, and they were still trying to build their world with this, so they didn't have the budget that they should have had to make this movie. A lot of the heroes, I feel the characters were done very well. The villains were very one-dimensional, very cookie-cutter villains. And they probably could have hashed those out a little bit more. There was a lot of good in this movie if you don't necessarily need the perfect CGI. This movie had decent CGI. This was the type of CGI that if you were playing a video game and saw this, you would go, wow, this almost looks real.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's almost there. And it is, if you're not a perfectionist, this movie, you can watch this movie, you can get beyond that. The emotional aspect, they failed a little bit. They didn't connect the way the original did. But all in all, this is a very enjoyable movie. Whether you watch the first one or not, check this out. This is definitely a treat.
All right, let's go to Michael Ravenshadow.
I'm pretty close with Aries on this one. It is, you cannot consider this an apples to apples comparison to Busan. It's not the same fucking animal at all. But yeah, it's almost like this would have been a better third picture.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like if there was something after Busan, and then this was the third act. I did like the characters. Would I have watched this if it wasn't a Busan sequel? Well, I don't know. I think it's fucking better than a lot of fucking zombie generic sci-fi direct-to-video, whatever the fuck pictures. We've seen worse in the zombie genre. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. We've seen way worse.
You know what I mean? I think it did have Monster Zero is so fucking distracting right now.
He really is.
Look at me. And my Canon t-shirt. But yeah, I mean, I do want to watch Busan again. 'Cause it's so fucking good. But listen, you could definitely do worse, and I am with Aries. It was maybe more ambitious, but I still enjoyed this. And you know what? You could do fucking worse, man. I'm so behind on Walking Dead. Treat.
Who cares about Walking Dead?
Frank Darabont.
No, he doesn't. He fucking hates it.
Terrible.
Frank Darabont fucking hates it. Didn't he sue them or something too?
I don't know, these guys are,
Yeah.
I got my own problem.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus.
All right. Well, I'm actually kind of in agreement with both of you guys. I actually did think this was a treat, but as a sequel to Train to Busan, this is a disappointment. It does not hold up as well as the original. The original was like a fucking godsend to the zombie genre. This feels like a lot of what we've seen prior in the last several, 20, 30 years of zombie films. It's not doing anything that's really setting it apart. It did attempt to have a strong emotional story, but I do feel it was a little bit too much too late, or a little too little too late is what I mean. And because of that, I wasn't as emotionally invested as I was hoping I would be, especially given the investment in Train to Busan. So that was a bit of a letdown. I did like a lot of what they did in this. I like the look of the film. I liked a lot of the characters. And generally, I thought they did some interesting things with it. So overall, like if I'm comparing this to a lot of the fucking zombie dreck that's out there, this is much better than a lot of the other zombie films out there. But it's hard to avoid the expectations when you come out with a film. When Train to Busan is your first film in the series, like that is a fucking masterpiece almost, like it is a revelation when it comes to zombie horror. And I applaud them for attempting to do something slightly different. That I appreciate. I appreciate that more than trying to stick with, like we talked about, fucking Boat to Busan, right? Like if they did something like that, it would have been like, oh, here we go again, trying to do the same shit. But they took it in a different way, and I generally liked what they attempted to do, but it just didn't make it stand out out of the pack enough to make it, really head and shoulders above a lot of the other stuff that's out there.
Like one thing I just want to say,
yeah, go ahead.
It's almost like, it could have been a much better heist film with zombies in the background.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what it was trying to be.
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, ultimately, the heist was like a MacGuffin, a plot point that never really paid off. Like, I hate to, it just was like a reason to get
in the haunted house.
Yeah, a reason to get, the characters from one point to another. And in essence, it didn't really have a whole lot to do with the film. And like, I really think that they could have made a connection a little bit better, or I don't know, like I think they could have made a better emotional tie, because I mean, and maybe it was sort of a bit of a meta take on, because this film did do well in America, and there was definitely more of an American influence in this than Train to Busan. So, I wonder if there's something that we're kind of missing in terms of like culturally, if there was sort of like a meta message there that we're just not getting, but that said, it is a good film. Is it a worthy sequel? Not really. If you're a huge Train to Busan fan, I mean, you definitely got to check it out. Or if you've never seen Train to Busan, watch that first, and then check this out. And this, you don't need to see the original to really understand what's going on here, because this can stand on its own, but it gives you a good sense of the world and how it got to be where it was. And the one thing that we didn't even really discuss about this is this film had a complete breakdown of government. There was, like, didn't they say the government, he's like, how long until the government went away? He's like, 1 day. Do you guys remember that line?
Oh, yeah.
So, literally, the government crumbled in a fucking day once this kind of took its course. Which,
that would never happen, Johnny.
Right. Like, that's why I almost feel it's kind of like almost like a take on. I don't know. Like, I didn't have enough time to really like think too deep into what they were trying to say with it, if anything. Maybe they weren't trying to say anything, but the fact that it was 20 million American dollars, I think has something to do with, with what they were trying to say. So, yeah, overall, a little disappointing, but at the end of the day, it's still a treat in terms of a zombie film. It's much better than a lot of the other stuff you're going to find out there, but it is a little disappointing that this was the follow-up, that they didn't, give us a little bit more of what we liked from the first one. So there you have it. Our discussion of Peninsula. Yeah, I was actually like, and I hate, once again, I don't like to have expectations going in to a film, but I literally was trying to think about, man, that this year, the year-end show is going to be tough this year, because to me, nothing stands out as like, holy fuck, this is the best movie of the year, right? And I was kind of hoping that Peninsula would be in the question, would be like part of that question of like, is this going to be one of the top films of the year? And I got to say right now, definitely not, for me anyways.
That's fair.
So, yeah. So in that case, it's a bit of a letdown for me, but there you have it. That's our discussion of Peninsula. If you guys get a chance to check it out, please let us know what you think. I'd love to hear some other feedback, especially if people, loved it, hated it, whatever. I'd like to hear both sides of that coin. So if you guys have seen Peninsula, let us know what you think, especially because the first film is so beloved. So, all right, and as I mentioned, next week we will have a guest co-host. That is EF Contentment. We're doing another Patreon show, and the films that he has selected for us to watch: Phantom Thread and Death Wish Club. So it should be an interesting show. It's definitely going to be different. Different from what we normally do. So I'm looking forward to that. And Creepy Girl says, I'll let you answer this one, MZ. Creepy Girl says, so no sex or nudity in this one either?
None. Not a lick.
It wouldn't have helped,
so to speak.
It wouldn't have done, done anything
exactly.
either way.
Yeah.
I mean,
wouldn't hurt.
Says you, yeah. It wouldn't hurt. Would have gone from just an okay film to Raven Shadow's top of the year.
Unbelievable.
And by the way, Raven Shadow, Evil Corny posted a GIF of Biden that says, "Give me a break. That's a bunch of malarkey." That was about 20 minutes ago, so I don't know exactly what he was talking about, but you do use that word malarkey.
I do like the malarkey.
She's into malarkeys. All right, so so next week, Phantom Thread, which I don't believe is streaming on any. It's available on VOD, but I don't think it's streaming on any services. But I do know that Death Wish Club is. That is streaming on Tubi, if I'm not mistaken. So, all right. Well, we're actually going to kind of wind things down here. We didn't have any voice messages. I think everyone was kind of hungover from the blackout tapes and the Halloween show, and this little thing going on in the world right now in America, that everyone's kind of clinging to their phones and their TVs and their devices. I've been refreshing a page as we've been doing the show.
Any breaking news? Do we have any? No, nothing.
No, nothing. I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad that it's not happening during this, but things are getting tighter. I'll say that. Some of the states are getting a lot closer than I expected, in terms of the good guys. All right, so we'll wind this down since it's getting close to 11 over. Oh, it is 11 actually. So, is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about that we didn't get a chance to?
I don't think so.
No. I was going to say something else. I was going to talk about. Was there a film I watched or a show? I don't remember. Actually, I'll just say this real quick. I only watched the first episode, but I started the series Barbarians on Netflix. It's about like the Roman Empire, and they try to not take advantage, but they try to bully these barbarian clans, and I have a feeling it's going to come back to bite them in the ass. But it's historical based on history, anyways, and it looked pretty interesting. The show's they actually by default Netflix plays the dubbed version, but the real language is in German. So I switched to German and put on the English subtitles. But so far, the first episode was pretty cool. But it's a six episode series, so that looked interesting, at least from the first one. Anything else you guys are watching, or do you want to talk about before we say goodbye?
I checked out a show called Evil on Netflix. I think it was a network show that probably from a few years ago. I've only seen 2 episodes of it. It seems like a church people trying to prove or disprove miracles, but they have a very good interpretation of a demon in the show, like friendly, almost comedic version of a demon torturing a woman paralyzed in bed. It's very enjoyable. The show so far. I'm going to good enough that I'm going to continue to watch it. But that interpretation of the demon, I really enjoyed that.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't even heard of that one.
I hadn't heard of it either. It just popped up on Netflix.
Corny says that his mom is watching Barbarians right now. All right. MZ, I know you're always watching stuff. Is there anything worth mentioning?
No.
Yeah. Raven Shadow? I know you don't really
Not
watch
really.
much.
No, we watched a movie on Netflix, The Babysitter.
Was it the original or the sequel?
The original.
Okay.
Mary had seen the sequel first. She didn't know it was the sequel. And then we watched the original. And like,
It's got
I went and fucking
Samara Weaving in it.
Yeah, is she the blonde?
What's that?
Is she the blonde? The babysitter?
Yeah. She was in Ready or Not.
Yes.
She was in
Bill and Ted.
And she was also in another movie we did. Fuck.
Because she's like Margot Robbie if you couldn't get Margot Robbie, right?
I guess.
It's not a
Pretty
dick.
much.
It's a pretty fucking like, it's like, you know what I mean? If you were like second Tom Cruise, that's still pretty fucking dope, right?
Second Tom Cruise.
You know what I mean? It'd be like smoking tie. But no, it was fun. And I watched it and I'm like, what the fuck's this fucking picture? And oh shit got fucking went down. So it was silly and dope. Axis to the head. Like, it's fun, man.
Oh,
It's
she was also in Mayhem, which we did with Stephen Yoon and Guns Akimbo.
Oh, she's fucking dope. Put her.
Oh yeah, Guns Akimbo. Yeah.
And she's gonna play Scarlet in Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins, Raven Shadow.
Really? Will she have red hair?
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, she should.
Just saying. But no, it was fun. Like, take some edibles and check that out on Sunday. Guys. Yeah, man.
Oh, she was also in Ash vs. Evil Dead. She was in a few episodes.
She's fucking great.
That's right. Yeah.
But have you seen that, Johnny? It was fun. It was a gory motherfucking picture too.
I didn't. We actually almost did it for the show, but for whatever reason, just some other stuff beat it out. But yeah, we didn't. That's why we didn't do it. But yeah, I've heard some good things.
I felt we watched a similar type movie where I'm like, I thought I watched this, but no, it fucking took a fucking turn, man. It was fun, wild. It was dope. Aries, you'd like it.
One other thing I'll mention is, so the episode of Talk Without Rhythm that I did with El Goro, where he covered all of the Evil Dead films, is now available. So if you guys want to check that out, you can go to, just check out Talk Without Rhythm. I think the website, I know it's twerp.blogspot.com, I believe. I'm going to head there right now.
TWR.blogspot.com.
That's not it, actually, because it didn't come up. Twerp, TWOR podcast.blogspot.com is where you can find it, and it is episode 543, and I'll just read the quick little bit here. So it says, this week on Talk Without Rhythm, I'm going big for Halloween with a discussion of the complete cinematic Evil Dead franchise. We begin with 81's Evil Dead with special guest host Donna Mars of the Deadites, the Five Horsemen, the Force Insensitive, and Danger Meows. Then I head back to the cabin with Mike White of the Projection Booth and esteemed Twerp Elite patron Jacob to discuss 1987's Evil Dead 2. After that, it's through the time portal to face 1992's Army of Darkness with two of my favorite primitive screwheads and two more members of the Five Horsemen, Johnny Wolfenstein of Trick or Treat Radio and the Force Insensitive, and Michael Koopmans. Finally, we reach the gore-soaked conclusion of this epic saga as I'm joined by fellow Hossman, Jake of the Cult of Muscle, and Brett from Bretro Culture to discuss 2013's Evil Dead. So you can check that out. It is episode 543. It's kind of a beast. It's just over 6 hours. But he covers all four films, and it was a blast to be part of the Army of Darkness conversation. So if you guys want, check out Talk Without Rhythm, and it's TWORpodcast.blogspot.com. So, all right. I think that's it. Next week, I'm super looking forward to next week's show with EF Contentment. Evil Corny, he should know. He said Evil was on CBS, Aries. So CBS show. And he also said that Samara Weaving is Hugo Weaving's niece. I think we might have talked about that previously, but maybe we didn't. There you go, Raven Shadow. Hugo Weaving's niece.
Good for him.
What? All right. So that is going to do it. MZ, tell the folks you love them or something. I don't know. Tell them something.
Arrivederci douchebags. How's that?
That's good.
It's kind of unoriginal. You say that every week.
All right, Aries.
Goodbye.
Raven Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, vote with your mask on. Oh, we already did.
That's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you forget Raven Shadow?
God damn it. Let me get...
God damn it.
Live fast, love hard, survive with your mask on. Yeah.
All right. So, yes, that is going to do it. Appreciate all you guys tuning in for episode 432 of Trick or Treat Radio. Looking forward to next week. EF Contentment will be our Patreon special guest co-host. We're going to be talking about Phantom Thread. MZ's going to fucking yawn in my ear. Talk about Phantom Thread and the Death Wish Club. And that should be a fun time. And then after that, I'm looking forward to... We got December Cram Jam coming up, guys. Are you excited?
Oh, God. No.
Fucked up, you guys.
All right. So, well, that is going to do it. So we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Yeah, next week. See ya.